politics and schemes. Frugiland's the place for the wildest dreams.
Welcome to Fringeland, where we meet people on the very edge of society and sometimes reality. It's a beautiful day at our Burbank studios. My name is Douglas Kaye, and we have a fantastic show for you today. Our guest tonight runs an organization devoted to defending Earth from alien infiltration. Now, if that sounds like something out of a science fiction movie, it's not. Our guest actually is the president of the Interdimensional Detection Institute of Terrestrial-Visitors. That's certainly a mouthful.
That's what she said.
His name is Rex Hollander, and he is the president and founder of the Institute, and in his words, he is a chief seer of cosmic truth. Great to meet you, Rex, and welcome to the show.
Thank you, Douglas. It's good to be here.
Now, I have to get this out of the way up front. Can you explain to me, or to the layman in our audience, what a chief seer of cosmic truth is?
Yes, absolutely. Here at the Institute, we have been studying paranormal activity, extraterrestrial events, for, I'd say, about 18 months or so.
Uh-huh.
And before that, I was an avid fan of paranormal extraterrestrial type activities. Probably back to when I was a kid and I saw the movie Battlefield Earth.
And we're talking about Battlefield Earth starring John Travolta, right?
That's right. It's actually considered by people in our industry, the extraterrestrial research and chief seers like myself, to be actually the most accurate depiction of an alien invasion ever captured on film.
But that's very interesting. I didn't know that.
That's right.
Does Scientology come into play anywhere in this?
Not really. I mean, my mom's a Scientologist. Our mom was a Scientologist, but I'm more of a,
Seeker of truth.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. It oversimplifies just a tiny bit, but yeah.
How does the Institute work? Is it open to the public? Can our listeners join, or is it a closed group of scientists and researchers like yourself?
Well, our policy is that everybody's a scientist. If you have an interest in science, or you have a telescope, you are a scientist. You're an astronomer. You have the same tools they have, and there's really nothing that should stop you from declaring that you're a scientist.
I guess we could say that the Institute is very inclusive of all who are curious about alien life. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I think so. Again, that simplifies it a little bit, but...
I see. Well, I understand now, Rex, that you reached out to our producers because you had some very important, very urgent information about alien life forms that you wanted to share with our audience. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Well, I know I'm very excited to hear what you have to say, Rex, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and give you the floor and let us know what's going on with these aliens.
Well, the most important thing that I think people need to understand is that aliens don't exist a million miles away.
Really?
It's much more like Battlefield Earth. They're already here, they're already living among us in plain sight.
Really? I'm absolutely fascinated by this. I want to know more.
Well, our research has discovered that the aliens that live among us have been taking a specific shape for some time. They might be your neighbors, they might be your co-workers, but like the great L. Ron Hubbard's work, they are already here.
So they're shapeshifters? Is that right? Would you say that?
Not exactly. I think that oversimplifies it a little bit, but maybe for the purposes of our conversation today, that would be sufficient.
Well, Rex, how would you describe them, or what do they look like? How do I know if my neighbor, according to you, and apparently according to L. Ron Hubbard and Battlefield Earth,
that's right,
is an alien?
Well, the truth is that aliens are Mexicans.
I don't understand what that means. Like, they take the shape? Like, they become the shape of a Mexican? Or some Mexicans are aliens?
I think that oversimplifies it a bit.
I feel like I keep oversimplifying things. You keep telling me I'm oversimplifying. So how would you describe, you said aliens are Mexicans? And
That's right.
can you prove this?
Well, it's right in the name. They're, they'll refer to Mexicans as illegal aliens. That's why we call them aliens, because they're not from
I don't think that's
Mexico
right.
originally. I mean, they're in Mexico now, but they originally came from a planet many light years away, and all of this
see.
is well documented in Battlefield Earth.
I'm gonna make a confession here. It's been a while since I've seen Battlefield Earth, and I'm not sure that I ever saw it all the way through, but to claim that
That's unfortunate.
all the people living in Mexico are from another planet
That's right.
seems kind of bizarre
No.
to me, to be honest.
Again, I think maybe you're... I know you don't like that I'm saying this, but I think you are...
I'm oversimplifying it, aren't I?
Oversimplifying this. It's right in the name.
Ah,
It's right in the name. Illegal alien. It's even spelled the same.
that's very interesting, but can I play devil's advocate for 1 second?
Okay.
Is it possible, Rex, that you may be oversimplifying it, because the name alien doesn't necessarily mean from space, it just means somebody from a different place that's now in this place.
A place like space. Space, where do aliens come from? They come from space.
Right.
Are you saying space is not a different place? Do we live in space right now?
Well, I mean, you could argue, if you wanted, that we are on a planet that is hurling through space, so maybe in that way, we are in space a little bit.
I think, I'm sorry to keep saying this,
I'm
but I think
oversimplifying
again,
it.
I think you're
Again.
oversimplifying it. To call the Earth a planet is not a scientific perspective. It's not really a planet, it's more like a space station.
I see.
Again, this is all covered in Battlefield Earth, and I really wish that you had watched it before I came on. I actually sent your producers an email and said,
I didn't get that.
please make sure that Douglas watches Battlefield Earth.
Yeah, I didn't get that message from my producers, so
Well, are they Mexican?
you keep going back to this, and I have, well, my producer's name is Rory, and I don't know what his ethnicity
better
is, and I
check.
don't really care, but the idea that you're going to take an entire group of people and say that they're foreign invaders
That's what the
from
science tells us.
the film Battlefield Earth, I think you could be perpetuating some kind of dangerous stereotypes. Do you think? Is that possible?
No, I think we're just trying to warn people. I think we want them to know that they're here.
Warn people.
They're not necessarily a threat yet,
Oh,
but
that's
they're
good.
here. And
They're here.
sometimes it's good to just look at a Mexican and just give them
What?
a little nod that just says, I know. I
What?
know.
A little nod.
That's
Well, I
right.
don't understand.
No, it's just like a thing. It's they know because, again, I know you didn't read or see the film Battlefield Earth, even
Okay,
though I
Battlefield
did
Earth
email
again.
your producer Rory that you needed to see that. But if you look at a Mexican right in the eyes and you just give them
Oh,
a
boy.
little nod, they might give you a little nod back, or they might tip their cowboy hat a little bit. It's just a way for you guys to say, I know who you are.
You guys?
I don't see you as a threat right now.
No.
But if you become a threat, I'm prepared.
What? I have to say, I don't want to be unkind, Rory, but this sounds incredibly naive, foolish, and potentially dangerous for our Mexican brothers and sisters.
No. Well, let me ask you this. What is your ethnicity?
My ethnicity? I mean, I think my parents, Scottish, maybe a little bit from Barcelona, I think. Where did you make that sound?
You just made my point. You just made my point.
No, you understand that Spain is not the same country as Mexico, though, right?
Close enough, I'd say.
Maybe we should change topics here. Tell
If
me
you
a little
like.
bit about this theory about aliens being Mexicans, as you say.
That's right.
Where did this originate? What was the genesis of this idea? Did this come from you? Did this come from someone at the Institute?
Well, it came from one of the researchers, the scientist at our institute. In this case, it was me. And I
Right.
was out on in Los Angeles.
I
I was
see.
out visiting my grandma, Pappy, and I saw a man, and he was clearly from another country.
see.
He had a backpack on, like a jet propulsion backpack with
Really?
like a laser cannon that shoots hot steam, and he was firing it at brush and leaves. I think he was clearing the way for a landing. Probably some more hombres were going to be coming.
Hombres, is that what the aliens refer to each other as?
Yes, that's what
I
they
think
say.
what you saw was maybe a landscaper who happened to have Latin origin. Is that possible? Maybe he's not an alien?
No, I mean, why would you need a jetpack in Los Angeles when you have so many freeways to get around? Have you ever seen a non-Mexican flying with a jetpack? I've never seen it at all.
Again, I don't think what you saw, and I don't mean to argue with you, but it sounds like
Well,
what
you
you
are.
saw was a landscaper probably clearing away brush and dead leaves so the sidewalks would be
invasion.
clean. I don't think that counts as an alien. But I think maybe
again-
we should switch topics here.
Well, you're oversimplifying, but it's your show, so we'll do what you want.
Can you tell me some more, some other discoveries, maybe not related to this aliens being Mexican theory? While unique as it is, again, I think is troubling and potentially dangerous for our wonderful Latin citizens in this city, in this state, who provide enormous value every single day to our citizens. But let's change the topic. What's something else not related to Mexicans being aliens that you've discovered in your institute?
Did you know there's a giant underground tortilla warmer beneath Nevada?
Oh, okay. I feel like we're back on the topic I really did not want to discuss, but
Sure, sure.
I do want to be a gracious host and give you an opportunity to make your case. So
Might be too late
tell
for
me
that.
about this tortilla warmer.
Well, it started with the Great Salsa Uprising in 1978, and the government obviously did not want us to know about it. They've done everything they can to hide the fact that there is a giant tortilla warmer under Nevada,
It
just
is a
outside of
conspiracy.
Henderson, actually.
Outside of Henderson. Okay. Do you have any photos of this giant tortilla warmer that you could share with us?
I actually have something better, which is an artist rendition that was
Okay.
created by one of our artists, one of
don't
our
know if that's
many
proof.
engineers. In this case, it's me.
Right. I suspected that.
And it clearly shows, if you look at this right here, I drew this on a napkin at TGI Fridays,
Okay.
and it's a perfect representation, absolutely perfect representation of what the giant tortilla warmer under Henderson, Nevada looks like.
Again, I don't mean to be rude or flippant, but I'm going to just ask you this question straight up.
Sure.
Are there any other members in this institute besides yourself?
Yes, there is. I'd have to see the roll on the roll call. We keep our membership very organized. I know that there is one more person.
One more?
That it happens to be my mother, but she also
Oh,
is a
okay.
scientist, as I said, not just a Scientologist, but a scientist, which is better if you can be a scientist and a Scientologist. That's twice the science.
Double the
right?
science, right? I was concerned that you were going to say that.
Well, there's no reason to be concerned. That's why we formed the Institute
I see.
at my mom's house, because it is our
Right.
central hub. It's our nexus where we keep our artifacts, our documents, our evidence. It's all actually in a secure file cabinet that we got from Office Depot, and it is locked. And my mother and I each have a key. In case something happens to one of us, then the other has the key, and we can release the files if we need to.
I think maybe we should move on again.
It's your show.
I know that you have merchandise products to protect the public from these, what you call alien invaders. Do you want to talk a little bit about what you have for sale?
Sure. Well, the best way to stay protected from the aliens who appear to us on Earth as Mexicans, because the tortilla warmer actually is blurring our synapses. And
Oh,
again,
boy.
this is all very, very scientific. It makes them appear to be, like you said, maybe a landscaper, but we actually sell a device. It's a hat that you can wear on your head and will actually protect you from the waves from
Is that
the
a
tortilla
sombrero?
warmer, and we call it the solar brero.
Okay, it's a sombrero, and you claim that
Well-
the solar brero, which I have to say looks like a normal sombrero,
To the untrained
covered
eye,
in what appears to be tinfoil. This will
Aluminum
protect the
paper.
brain from the waves. Are these microwaves, gamma waves coming from the tortilla warmer? This will protect and let you identify the aliens more easily, is that right?
yeah, and you sound skeptical, I'm being
Yeah.
honest, and as a
Maybe a little.
scientist, I find your skepticism laughable because
It's
we
okay.
have double-blind tested the solar brero, and we have
Really?
confirmed that when you wear the solar brero and you look at a Mexican and you do the nod, remember I mentioned you do the little nod, and then they'll look back at you and do the little nod. If you're wearing the solar brero, they won't nod back at you. In fact,
I'm not
when we
surprised.
did our testing, they actually turned and ran when I nodded, which confirms our hypothesis that the solar brero is blocking their brain jamming signals.
I have to say, Rex, if somebody came up to me on the street wearing a solar brero, this thing that you're showing me, I too would probably turn and run
Well,
if they nodded at me, because
That's
it's not
telling in
the kind of
itself.
thing you would normally see out in public. And there are a lot of people in Los Angeles who have mental health issues, and I would assume that somebody would have mental health issues if they were wearing the solar brero, walking down Sunset Boulevard and just indiscriminately nodding at people.
well, that's your opinion. What kind of studies did you do to form your opinion? Because
Well-
I've showed you my research. Can you show me yours?
I admit I haven't done research on the topic that the
That's what I
aliens are
thought.
actually just Mexicans, because it seems like such a ridiculous, maybe even a little racist.
No, I don't see
of a theory that you have here. I don't know that this constitutes good science.
Well, as I said before, anyone who has the equipment is a scientist. So I have a solar brero, therefore I am a scientist,
Well, I
and
don't know
I
if
can
that
conduct
qualifies.
human trials to see if they are human or not, or really they're alien trials, because so far 100% of our test subjects have turned and run and often
I'm not
scream
surprised.
when we walk up to them with a solar brero to test the underground tortilla waves to make sure that the tortilla warmer waves, that those are actually very, very powerful, and the aliens are absolutely shocked that we have figured out their technology and how to block it. You see,
see.
these aliens think of us as inferior, almost like caveman primitive people. And when
Well-
you show up at the solar brero, which by the way is for sale for $29.99 at our website,
Yeah, I'll tell that.
you will see immediately, you'll be able to spot the aliens from, let's say, the Puerto Ricans very easily.
Okay. I don't like all this racial talk. It's not really what we do here at Fringeland. This is a inclusive, friendly, everyone is welcome podcast. And I feel like first you singled out Mexicans and you called them aliens, which I
Which they
find
are.
ignorant, maybe even stupid, if I can be so
Okay.
bold.
Yeah,
But
that's
now
bold.
you're separating them from Puerto Ricans as if Puerto Ricans are a different species from Mexicans, and you claim to have done all the scientific research, but it really just sounds like you put tinfoil hat on a sombrero and scared people on the street. Am I wrong in that? Did
They're
you
not people.
actually pay these test subjects? Was there a laboratory, or did you just walk up to strangers on Sunset Boulevard with this ridiculous looking device on your head and then ask them if they're an alien?
Well, obviously, to preserve the integrity of the double-blind study, I cannot know our research subjects. But however, I have done this to my mother, who I know, obviously. I walked up to her wearing the sombrero. She looked at me immediately and said, "I am not an alien." And so we knew in our small studies, our small-scale studies, that this was very conclusive. So then we took it out to the field to do our research. So we went out to Los Angeles and we started identifying aliens to confirm that, yes, they would run and scream at the sight of a sombrero.
Well, Rex, I think we're starting to run out of time, but I want to give you an opportunity to maybe have one more plug before we wrap up this conversation, and I have to speak to our legal department about this. I'm not sure if we can even air this episode. It's quite offensive, what you're proposing, but this floor is yours, so go ahead and let us know what else you have available for purchase on your website.
Thanks, Douglas. Well, the most important thing to get from our website is our research, and we have done so much work to put this research into a binder that, yes, now comes in 3-hole punch.
Okay.
That's right, you heard me. It's now available in 3-hole punch. And as if that wasn't enough, we've also added a tabbed index. So you should take this binder with you everywhere you go where you might see aliens.
I would recommend that.
And you can quickly find the topic of interest. For example, if you want to know about the Great Salsa Uprising or the giant tortilla warmer in Henderson, Nevada, you can turn directly to those pages, which again, I really want to emphasize this, it now comes in 3-hole punch variety, and you can take that with you everywhere you go, and you're going to keep yourself safe, keep your family safe, and you're going to be more informed because of it.
Well, thank you, Rex, for being part of our show. Again,
My pleasure.
I'm not sure we're going to be able to air this episode. I find a lot of what was discussed today to be fairly ignorant and foolish. I don't mean to be rude, but
Well, you are.
I don't think that this is something that I would recommend that anybody do. I don't think you should see any human as being from another planet, another solar system. I don't think that's how we should see our fellow citizens. But you can go to their website, which is linked at fringeland.com. You can go to this episode and find the link to that, and you can purchase this research, which now comes in 3-hole punch, as Rex said, which
Yes.
I guess that sounds like it was a really big deal. Apparently,
It was an extra fee.
that was a big thing. But the tabbed index, I mean, if there were research in there that was useful, the tabbed index sounds like a nice feature. But again, I wouldn't recommend anyone do anything that Rex has said today because, well, frankly, I'm not sure how he got on our show. I'm going to have a meeting with Rory, our producer, after the show, and we're going to revisit our criteria for how people get on the show. I think it's time we raise the bar because this was not a great episode. It was very offensive, and I hope that you'll tune into Fringeland next time when we find people who are on the fringe of society and sometimes reality. In this case, I'm your host, Douglas Kaye. Be well.
Welcome to Fringeland, where the lines get blurred, where the odd and the unheard finally get their word. Aliens and outlaws, politics and schemes. Fringeland's the place for the wildest dreams.